Jordan is seeing a nurse today because she needs to get a few vaccinations in order to return to school. Jordan is 19 and is going to college. She is only attending about 25% of her classes, and her GPA is low. The nurse plans to do a screening with her today. Jordan is in the pre-contemplation stage. She doesn't view her alcohol use as a problem.
Hello, my name is Julie. I'm an RN. I'm here to do your screening today.
Hi.
I would like to ask you a few questions today. Is that all right? It will only take 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, I guess as long as it doesn't take too much time.
All right, good. Let's get started then. Do you smoke or use tobacco products?
No, not really a smoker.
In the past year, have you had 4 or more drinks a day?
I'm a college kid. I have friends, we go out, so I don't really keep track of how many drinks I have.
In a typical week, do you have more than 7 drinks?
I'm sure I do if I have several drinks when I go out during the week.
In the past year, have you had 5 or more drinks in one day? And by standard drink, I'm referring to a 12 ounce of regular beer, 8 ounces of malt liquor, 5 ounces of table wine, or half an ounce of hard liquor.
Yeah, it's all of that. Beer is usually my go-to, but as the night goes on, I normally tend to switch to hard liquor.
So, how many nights a week would you say you drink?
Some weeknights, mostly weekends. I would say probably like 4.
How many standard drinks do you have in a day?
Well, I already told you, I don't count when I drink, but probably like 4 or 5 in a night.
In the past year, have you ever used pot, other street drugs, or prescription drugs for non-medical reasons?
Well, this girl Rebecca told me that I smoked pot one time when I was really, really drunk. And I don't really remember that, but as far as I know, I haven't when I was sober.
Alright, and have you ever drank more than you meant to?
Everyone has those nights, don't remember.
And have you ever thought about cutting down on your drinking?
What kind of questions is that? I'm a sophomore in college. I don't really have to settle down. I have a lot of time until I graduate, so not really.
In the past year, have you ever been intoxicated on alcohol or drugs where you could hurt yourself or someone else?
Sometimes I walk out, but as far as I know, I'm not hurting anybody.
Jordan, I'd like to talk about your drinking a little more. Is that okay?
Yeah, but we've already talked about a lot, so I don't really get what we need to talk about anymore.
There are just a few more things that I'd like to discuss. It won't take that long.
Okay.
Jordan, are you aware that it is suggested that a healthy woman only consume 4 drinks in a day and only up to 7 per week?
Nope, didn't know that.
Jordan, I'm concerned that your drinking is above the safe limits and that it's affecting your health.
Well, I'm 19, and I thought I was healthy. I never really realized that my drinking was abnormal. I thought all college kids were just drinking like me, and I was drinking like them. I always thought my parents were just nagging me to stop drinking just because they're parents, and that's what they do.
So, your parents are also concerned about your drinking. Why do you think they're so concerned?
Well, my uncle is an alcoholic, and he just died in a drunk driving accident, so that might be why.
I'm sorry to hear about your uncle. Would it be okay for me to give you some advice about your drinking?
That sounds like a good plan. I wouldn't really know where to start or what to even do.
I think it would be smart for you to cut back on your drinking. Your brain is not fully developed, and overconsumption of alcohol can cause growth problems. You mentioned earlier that sometimes you black out and you don't always remember what you may have done. Because you don't know what you're doing, you could easily get behind the wheel of a car and put yourself or others at risk. Have you ever thought about cutting back?
Not really. I mean, drinking is just kind of what college kids do. And I wasn't really aware that alcohol does that to you, and that's how it affects you.
Well, now let's talk a little bit about why you enjoy drinking.
Well, all my friends drink, so I kind of just started making it a habit and started drinking with them. I'm naturally shy, and drinking makes me more social. And coming to college, I knew I needed to open up and make more friends. I'm in a lot of intense classes, and I get stressed out a lot, so drinking allows me to relax and focus on something other than school. When I started drinking, I did it to make friends and to let off some steam. After I drank for a while, I stopped going to class altogether so I could sleep off my hangover. Then it just became part of my life, and it's what I did, and it's what I do.
I see that you're under a lot of stress. Is it possible that alcohol could be contributing to that stress? What factors do you think encourage your drinking?
My friends influence me a lot, so I really only drink when I'm with them.
Okay, thank you for being honest with me about your drinking. So, what do you think are the positive effects of your drinking?
I guess it makes me feel better about myself, I feel like I look better, whatever. I'm more social and I can talk to more people. I'm more confident with guys. They seem to give me more attention, and I just like how I feel when I'm drunk.
Those answers are understandable. Do you ever experience any bad feelings when you drink?
Well, sometimes I feel bad the next day. I wake up and physically don't feel good, so I skip class a lot and I just stay in bed. I throw up sometimes and I have a pounding headache all day. Sometimes I don't remember what I do the night before, and when I do remember, I'm not proud of it. I sometimes get embarrassed when I find out some of the things that I did do too. It's sometimes hard to face certain people the next day or two. I'm also tired of spending all my money on alcohol because I'm broke and I just don't have the money to.
So it seems like drinking alcohol is really affecting your personal life and your school life. So how does it make you feel talking about these different effects?
Well, it kind of seems like the bad outweigh the good, and I've never really thought about it that way before.
Okay, well, what I'd like to do now is show you this ruler, and this is what we use to gauge how ready someone is to make a change. So on the scale, 0 is not ready to change, and 10 is ready to change now. So where do you think you would fall on this scale?
I guess I would say I'm a 3.
Okay, good. So you put yourself at a 3 and not a 1 or a 2?
Yeah, well, first I felt more like a 1, but after talking, I realized that my drinking habits can affect my life. So I'm really starting to think about the consequences of my drinking.
I'm glad to hear you're thinking about the consequences of your drinking. Would you like to discuss some goals that you could have for cutting back?
Yeah, sure. I think that'll help.
Good. Let's start with some short-term goals. What ways would you like to improve this semester?
I think that I would like to make new friends who don't influence me as much. Maybe I could, join a club on campus or something, but I don't really want to lose my old friends, so maybe I could hang out with them in a different environment, or maybe I could ask them to join the clubs with me.
Those are all great ideas to start with. You said you also have issues with stress. What are some ways you could cut back on your stress levels?
Well, I used to run cross country in high school, and that really, made me feel better. So maybe I could do that. And I know the rec offers yoga classes, so that might be helpful too.
Exercise is a great way to relieve stress. Is there anything else you can think of?
I think talking to someone might help me a lot. I don't really have anyone to talk to, but I also don't really know where I could start or who I could talk to.
Well, I think that talking to someone would really help as well. The university offers free counseling to students. I could give you some resources if you'd like.
That'd be awesome. Thanks.
Well, I really like all of your ideas, and if that's okay, I'd like to write them down for you so you could take them with you.
That sounds awesome. That way I won't forget them.
Alright, well, I'll go grab those resources for you.
Okay.